You met someone and it feels different. Deep. Faded. Almost like the universe placed them in your path for a reason. But now, you're questioning everything because it's not easy. It's intense. It's confusing. It's forcing you to look at yourself in ways you never have before. So now you wonder, are they my twin flame? My soulmate? Or just another lesson wrapped in love and pain? And more importantly, do I hold on, or is it time to let go? Let's unravel this mystery. Twin flames versus soulmates. What's the difference? First, let's get one thing straight. Both twin flames and soulmates are profound, life-altering connections. They both serve a purpose, but they are not the same. A soulmate is someone your soul has a deep, harmonious bond with. They feel familiar because you've shared past lifetimes, karmic lessons, and soul agreements. They help you grow, but they don't necessarily trigger your deepest shadows the way a twin flame does. Soulmates feel like home. A twin flame, on the other hand, is your energetic mirror. They don't just bring love, they bring upheaval. They reflect back every part of you, both the light and the darkness. They don't just make you feel good, they make you wake up. And that's where the confusion begins. Because while soulmates bring peace, twin flames bring fire. And not everyone is meant to walk through that fire. So how do you know whether to hold on or let go? When to let go? 1. If you're holding on out of fear, not love. Love should never feel like a cage. If you're clinging to someone because you're afraid of losing them, afraid of being alone, or afraid that you'll never feel this way again, you need to ask yourself, is this love or is this attachment? True twin flame or not, any connection based on fear will only drain you. Love is expansive. It is freeing. It is not something you have to beg for. If you're constantly chasing, constantly trying to make them see, love, or choose you, it's time to let go. 2. If they're not willing to grow. The twin flame journey is about evolution. If one person is committed to healing, awakening, and stepping into their highest self while the other refuses to change, then the connection becomes imbalanced. It's not your job to wake them up. You cannot force someone to evolve. If they are avoiding growth, refusing to face their shadows, or continuously running from the connection without ever doing the inner work, then you're not in a twin flame union. You're in a karmic loop. And the only way to break that loop? Let go. 3. If the connection is causing more harm than growth. Yes, the twin flame journey is meant to challenge you. It's meant to push you beyond your comfort zone. But it is not meant to break you. If the connection is bringing nothing but pain, if you are constantly feeling anxious, unworthy, or like you have to prove your worth just to be loved, it's time to step back. A true twin flame will trigger your wounds, but they will also inspire your healing. If all they are doing is reopening wounds without any hope of resolution, it may not be a twin flame connection at all. It may be a trauma bond, and trauma bonds are meant to be broken. When to hold on. 1. If the connection is pushing you to become your best self. A real twin flame doesn't just challenge you. They ignite you. They push you into growth, force you to see your own worth, and make you confront the parts of yourself you've ignored for too long. If this connection is making you step into your power, if it's helping you heal, helping you become the person you were meant to be, then it may be worth holding on to. Not in a way that clings, not in a way that waits endlessly, but in a way that allows love to evolve in its own divine timing. 2. If you've reached a place of inner peace. This is the biggest sign that a twin flame union is unfolding in the right way. You don't feel desperate for it anymore. You trust the timing. You trust the connection. You no longer need them to be physically present in order to feel whole. If you can hold on to the connection without attachment, if you can love them without needing them, then that love is real. And real love has a way of aligning when the time is right. 3. If the separation feels like preparation, not punishment. Twin flames often go through periods of separation. But the key difference between a toxic cycle and a true twin flame journey is this. Toxic cycles feel like endless pain. True twin flame separations feel like sacred preparation. If, even in separation, you feel yourself growing, healing, and aligning with your highest self, then hold on. Not to the person, but to the love itself. Because that love is changing you. That love is leading you home to yourself. And that is what the twin flame journey was always meant to do. The truth about letting go versus holding on. Here's the ultimate truth. Sometimes letting go is holding on. Letting go of the need to control. Letting go of the fear of losing them. Letting go of the belief that reunion has to happen in a certain way or at a certain time. Because real love, the kind of love that twin flames are meant to embody, is freeing. It does not bind. It does not beg. It does not demand. So whether you let go or hold on, make sure it's coming from a place of strength, not fear. Because in the end, twin flames are not about chasing. They are about becoming. And when you finally become who you were meant to be, when you step into your power, into your truth, into the fullest expression of your soul, everything that is meant for you will find its way back. No force, no struggle, no fear, just alignment, just love, just destiny unfolding exactly as it was always meant to. And that's the paradox of the twin flame journey, isn't it? The more you try to hold on, the more it slips away. The more you try to control the timing, the further it drifts. But the moment you surrender, truly, deeply surrender, something shifts. Because this journey was never about holding on to a person. It was about holding on to yourself. The illusion of letting go. Many people think letting go means giving up. They think it means shutting down their heart, cutting cords, pretending the connection never existed. But that's not true letting go. That's just resistance in another form. Letting go in the twin flame journey isn't about erasing the connection. It's about releasing the attachment to the outcome. It's about saying, I trust this love. I trust the timing. I trust that if we are meant to reunite, we will. And if not, I will still be whole. That's real surrender. And real surrender is what creates alignment. Because when you stop needing, you start attracting. When you stop chasing, you allow space for what's meant for you to find you. When you let go of the how and the when, the universe is finally free to work its magic. What happens when you truly let go? Something incredible happens when you reach this level of surrender. You stop feeling desperate for answers. You stop waiting for messages, signs, or validation. You stop questioning whether or not they feel it too, because deep down you already know. And suddenly, the pain of separation isn't pain anymore. It's peace. Because now, instead of asking, when will they come back? You ask, how can I show up for myself today? Instead of looking for signs, you become the sign. Instead of trying to figure out where they are on their journey, you focus on where you are on yours. And in that shift, you become exactly what your twin flame was always meant to push you toward, your highest, most authentic, most radiant self. And then everything aligns. Here's the thing about twin flames. They're always connected. Always. Even in silence. Even in separation. Even when it feels like you are galaxies apart. And the moment you let go of the need for reunion is the moment you shift the energy. That's when the connection transforms. That's when the universe begins moving things into place. That's when the energy between you stops feeling like push and pull and instead becomes effortless flow. Because now you are not chasing them. You are becoming yourself. And when you do that, everything that is meant for you begins to find its way home. Not because you held on, not because you fought for it, not because you forced it, but because you finally understood the greatest twin flame lesson of all. Love was never about possession. It was always about freedom. And the moment you embody that truth, that's the moment everything changes. And when that moment comes, when you finally embody the truth that love is freedom, not attachment, you no longer need to ask whether to hold on or let go. Because you realize you were never meant to do either. You were meant to flow. The flow of divine love. Twin flames don't function like ordinary relationships. They don't fit into the structures of attachment and control that most love stories are built on. They are fluid, expansive, eternal. You don't have to hold on to them because they are already a part of you. You don't have to let go in the way the world tells you to because the connection was never something external in the first place. It was always within you. It was always you. And when you embrace that, something magical happens. You stop resisting the natural flow of the journey. You stop fearing separation because you know true separation doesn't exist. You stop seeing this as something happening to you and start realizing it's happening for you. Because this journey was never about reaching a destination. It was about becoming the kind of love you were always meant to embody. What love looks like after the awakening. Once you reach this state of surrender, your entire energy shifts. You radiate peace, not longing. You exude confidence, not desperation. You trust rather than question. And that energy, it is felt by your twin flame, by the universe, by everything around you. And suddenly, your twin flame dynamic stops feeling like an endless cycle of chasing and running. Because you're no longer seeking. You're no longer needing. You're no longer waiting for something outside of you to make you feel whole. And when you embody that love, when you become love itself, you stop worrying about whether they will come back. Because you know that everything meant for you will always find its way. Not because you held on, not because you let go, but because you trusted. And in that trust, you have already won. Because whether they return tomorrow, next year, or in another lifetime, you have already found the love you were searching for. It was always within you. And now you are free. And in that freedom, something shifts, not just within you, but in the entire energy of the connection. Because when you are no longer bound by expectation, by longing, by the need for them to return in a specific way at a specific time, you open the door for something even greater, divine flow. The power of energetic alignment. You see, twin flames aren't drawn back together through force. They don't reunite because one person chases or because one person waits. They come back together when the energy between them is aligned. And alignment doesn't come from holding on too tightly. It doesn't come from anxiously waiting. It doesn't even come from trying to let go in the traditional sense. It comes from becoming the fullest, most radiant version of yourself. Because the twin flame journey isn't about two people completing each other. It's about two souls reaching a place of self-mastery, self-love, and wholeness. So that when they do come together, it's not from a place of need, but from a place of divine harmony. And that is the real reunion. What happens when you fully surrender? The irony of the twin flame journey is that reunion often happens when you no longer need it to. Not because you stopped loving them, not because you stopped believing in the connection, but because you finally stepped into your own power. When you are fully in alignment with yourself, when you have healed, grown, and stepped into the highest version of your soul, you naturally shift the dynamic of the connection. Your twin flame feels this shift, even if you haven't spoken, even if you're miles apart, because twin flames are energetically linked. So when you embody peace instead of longing, they feel it. When you radiate love without expectation, they feel it. When you are no longer bound by fear, attachment, or old wounds, they feel it. And that shift within you is often what calls them back. Not in a way that is forced, but in a way that is natural, inevitable. Because now there is space for the connection to exist in its highest form. The final lesson: love without attachment. The twin flame journey will teach you many things, but its greatest lesson is this: love is not something to be held on to. It is something to be lived. So whether your twin flame returns in this lifetime or not, whether you walk this path together or apart, whether reunion happens exactly the way you imagined or in a way you never expected, you're already whole. You're already love. You're already free. And in that freedom, you have found what you were searching for all along. Not just them, yourself.